Welcome back to Digital Class, and this is our PSLE last minute revision, and this is our set number A. So in this set A, we have a few questions to discuss, that range from paper 1 booklet A, booklet B to paper 2 questions. Okay, so let's look at our first question from Nanyang paper 1 question number 3. So here, this question here says that what is the length of the paper clip in the figure below? So you're given 4 options. And the first thing you must understand is that if you want to measure the length of an object using a ruler, we must know that we always will start from 0. But now, this time we are not start from 0, so we must know what is the measurement here and what is the measurement here. So the first thing importantly is we need to find out here is 1 cm and how many gap in between that 1 cm. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 gap. So we know that we need to use 1 divide by 5, and we know it is 0.2, which means that each gap it increases by 0.2. So we know that here is 0.2.2, 2.4, 2.6. Here is 2.6. Now, of course, here 0.2 behind 5, here would be 4.8. Now, this concept is very important, like the gap, 1 cm, all these concepts is very important, especially in graph. Okay, in graph. Okay, that's why you need to know this. So now, how to find the length? Last step, use 4.8 minus 2.6, and you get 2.2 cm. Cm is a unit. That's all. The answer is option number 2. Okay, simple, good. Let's move on to the next question, which is from Nanhua paper 1, question 10. So this question here says that in the rectangle below, find the area of the shaded triangle. Okay, let me just enlarge a little bit. Find the area of the shaded triangle. So the first thing is the keyword area triangle. In order to look for the area of triangle, so what is our formula? It's half times base times height. And one very important concept here you should know is base and height always will form a 90 degree. Okay, always will form 90 degree. If there's no 90 degree, it means something is wrong. So now we are looking for this shaded triangle. And one of the common mistake the students have is, hey teacher, the base is here, right? Then the height is here, lor. Now, a very common mistake, and you should notice that here and here, the base and the height does not form a 90 degree, which means that this is a wrong idea. Then where is our height? Where's our height? The height is actually here. Okay? Well, you might say, teacher, where is the 90 degree? Look at here. The base is here, right? This is the base, and this is the height. And you can see there's a 90 degree here. The base and the height always will form a 90 degree. Okay? So here will be the how we find this will be half times 9 times 8. Of course, we simplify, then we get this 36 cm square. That will be our unit, and then we answer. Option number 2. Okay. Now, let me just remind you a very important concept, very, very important reminder here is that, example, if I have a triangle like this, example here is 5 cm, here is 6 cm. We know it's like half times 5 times 6, right? Something very simple. It will be 15 cm square. Okay. Now, remember one thing is if the triangle looks like this, as long as here is 5 cm, okay, this is the base, this is the height. The height is 6 cm. Although it does not look like this, as long as the base is 5, the height is still 5. the way of doing it, the working will be exactly the same, which means that the area of this triangle and the area of this triangle is actually the same. Okay, something very, very important. Okay, and of course, to solve this question, let's come back to this question. Of course, you also can do like, I find a big triangle, then I minus a small triangle, then I find the shaded part. Yeah, there's also another method to do this, but you just waste some time. Okay, let's move on to our next question. Our next question is about money, about percentage. Let's look at this question from SGS paper 1 question 12. Adam Electronics stores gave a store-wide discount of 20% during its annual sales. Now, something very important to know is that if you receive a 20% discount, you need to pay how many percent? 80%. Okay, let's move on. As a member of the store, Minghui entitled to an additional 10% discount on the discounted price. Teacher, I have 20% discount. I have another 10% discount. Together 30% discount. Is it a correct idea? No, sorry, it's not. Why? Because, key point here, additional 10% discount on the discounted price. Now, you need to understand that what is the discounted price? Is after the first 20% discount, I got the discounted price. Then, based on the discounted price, I have another price. So, this 20%, in conclusion, this 20% discount is based on the usual price. But this 10% discount is based on the discounted price. So it's a big difference here. So what we should do, our first step is, I know the usual price is 2,000. But because of this 20% discount, I need to pay what? 80%. So it's 80 over 100. So just simplify, I get 1600. And this is my discounted price. Okay, this is my first discounted price. Then I have an additional 10% discount. Means I need to pay how many percent? I need to pay 90%. So 1600, 90 over 100. Then I simplify. So 160 times 160, okay, let me just cut here, times 9. I'll get 1440. So 1440 will be the price that I need to pay. Okay. So Minghui pay for the camera 1440, which is option number 3. Okay. So again, something very important. You cannot just add together. Why? Because of this word on the discounted price. If it's 10% off the usual price, yeah, that's fine. That's something very simple. But discounted price. Okay. And this is one of the very common mistake that students make. So, okay. Let's move on to the next question from SGS paper 2, question number 5. So Mrs. Tan prepared some sticks of satay and muffin for her student. So the ratio that prepare satay to muffin was 3 to 1. So first thing you need to know there is this is what they prepare satay to muffin is 3 to 1. Then the questions continue to say that each student was given 5 sticks of satay and 2 muffin. Okay, so this is basically given out. So I don't know how many students, so each student's 5 satay, 2 muffin. If I have 2 students, it will be 10, 4, means total given out lah, okay? So, but I know the ratio will be something like this. Satay and muffin, 5 to 2. Good. And the questions continue to say this. There were 52 sticks of satay left. Left means have extra. After all the muffins were given out. All the muffins were given out. Oh, means that all muffins was given out, but satay have left 52. And now the question asks, how many students are there? So the first thing very important is that you know that satay have leftover, but muffin have no leftover. Means that whatever you prepare have given out. Means that what you prepare, what you given out is exactly the same. So you should expect that this one and this two supposed to be the same. And this is something we call it as one unchanged quantity lah. Or we should say that one quantity is supposed to be the same. So 1 and 2 supposed to be the same. So how to make it the same? By looking for LCM. So you know the LCM is 2, so I times 2 times 2. So the new ratio here will be 6 to 2. And now, interesting part here. Look at here. What I prepare is 6 unit for satay, and what I given out is 5 unit. Okay, so 6 unit minus 5 unit, I know I have actually 1 unit left. And that 1 unit is what? The 52 sticks of satay. So I know 1 unit is actually equal to 52. Then, example, let's try to look for muffin. Muffin, I have how many unit? 2 unit, right? So 2 unit is what? 52 times 2, 144. And you know that I have actually 144 muffin. And I know each students receive how many? 2 muffin. Total 144. Each student receives 2. Which means that if I use 144 divide by 2, then I can find the number of students. And I know the answer is 52 students. And that's all you are done for this question. Okay, this question is what I mentioned as one unchanged quantity. Okay, so yeah, we are done for this question. And of course, there are many ways to do this question, but this is the question, or this is the way that first come to my mind. Okay, so let's move on to the next question from Nanyang paper 2, question 6. Okay, let me make it smaller. Okay. So basically this question is have part A, part B, and part C. So let's try to focus on part A and B first. So a parallelogram ABCD is drawn on the square grid inside a box. So you know that there's a parallelogram inside a box. A, by joining dots on the grid with straight lines. Now, look at here. The keyword here is joining dots. They want you to join the dots. Why? Because sometimes my students like to do this. Or you lah, probably you. Sometimes you just draw halfway like this, you draw halfway like this. Again, no halfway, you are joining the dots. No halfway there, not joining dots, okay? A reminder, please. Now, next part. Draw square ADEF. As you can see, AD here. EF probably somewhere else, but it'll be a square. And this square must not overlap parallelogram ABC. Which means that you cannot have like this lah, like a square like this. Cannot lah, because overlap lah. So it will be somewhere here, somewhere like this. Okay? Make sense? Okay. Now, how do we draw this? So let me just draw here just to illustrate what is happening. A and B. Okay, this is a straight line. Oops. Something like this lah. Okay. So something that you should notice is here. 1, 2. Here is 2 unit. It's going actually 2 unit to the side. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units going down. Okay, do you notice that? Now this is something very important. Now, unit is 2 unit going to the right, 4 unit going so downwards. So if I want to draw here, A, D, E, F, right? So here is E, here is F, I know. But how can I make sure I can draw nicely here like this? We are using the same idea. 2 to 4. Since it's 90 degree, no, here is 90 degree. So it will be just flip over. Here will be 1, 2, 2 unit, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 unit. You get the idea? The same thing. How you go like this? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 unit. 1, 2, 2 unit. And the same thing, you just draw the line, that's all. Okay? So the same thing, let's try here. 1, 2, 2 unit. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 unit. I know this is my E. So, of course, you can draw a line here, just like this. Then here, the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So this will be the point F. Draw a line and draw a line. Okay, it looks great, but of course, please erase this. You don't need this actually, okay? Of F, F must have, labeling must have, but all this unnecessary line, you can remove it. Okay, good, perfect, nice. But let me just kindly remind you this. Let me write this reminder here. Reminder. First, please use ruler when you draw. Please use ruler when you draw. Second, use pencil. And please draw darker, please. Now, the first thing you must know why we are using pencil, because if you use pen and if you draw wrongly, you cannot use correction tip or correction fluid to remove it. You are not allowed to do so in PSLE. Okay? And use pencil, please draw or draw darker, don't like too light. Why? Because in PSLE now they are using something called on-screen marking, OSM. So basically, your answer will be scanned, and when they scan, your things will be faded lah. Okay, so the drawing is not that clear anymore. So you must draw darker. Okay, and the thing is, please label, guys. Please label. Okay, let's move on. B, part B. By joining dots on the grids, again the same reminder. You're joining the dots now halfway with straight lines. Please use ruler, straight lines. Draw trapezium CDGH. Trapezium CDGH. So you know CD is here, so GH is somewhere here, okay? Such that CD is twice as long as GH. And GH is parallel to CD. And DG is equal to GH. Wow. You look at it, you don't want to do already, I know. And next part. Trapezium CDGH must not overlap with parallelogram ABCD. Oh, so basically again, it's saying that the trapezium will not go up here lah. It's impossible. It will be at the down part. Okay. Now let's look at this. Together. Okay. So here, CD is twice as long as GH. So you can see that CD is like 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically 4 unit. Correct? So let me just draw here. D here, C. So here is 4 unit. So I know that GH is probably 2 unit. Okay, makes sense, right? 4 diagonal times 1, 2, 3, 4. There will be 2. And next part, GH is parallel to CD. Okay, GH is parallel to CD. So I know here is G, here is H, 2 unit. Makes sense, right? Because 4 unit, 2 unit. And it's parallel. Okay, and again it's trapezium, so only one pair of parallel lines. Okay, now something interesting to note that because the name is CDGH, right, so you must see is CDGH, so it's like one round. Okay, you cannot like CDGH. I mean, in normal circumstances, we don't do that. Okay. Okay, let's move on. The next requirement that we have here. DG is equal to GH. Can you see here? Let me just DG is equal to GH. Means that here is also 2 unit. You get the idea? Because DG and GH are the same. here telling us that it will be the same. So here is also 2 unit. Then here, once we're done, we just complete. That's all. Okay? With a straight line. Okay? So now let's try to draw our lines. So 2 unit show we should be able to expect 1, 2. Then 2 unit will be 1, 2. So we must make sure it is parallel. Yes, it's parallel. Then just connect. So here's G, here's H. Good, simple, that's all. But of course, please make sure you use ruler to draw, pencil, make sure you label, like what I did here. Okay? But of course, my line is not straight. Now let's look at C. We're done with A and B. C. Find the ratio of area of parallelogram BCD, square ADEF, trapezium CDGH, and express your answer in the simplest form. As you know, always we put in simplest form. This is just a very nice hearing reminder. Okay, this is the most annoying part. We need to find the area. So let me write here first. C, I need to find the area of parallelogram, 2 area of square, 2 area of trapezium. So let's try to find the first one first. Area of parallelogram is this, ABCD. So if you want to ask me, can we count like 1, 2, 3, 4? The answer is no, okay? Don't do that. Let's just count because this is a square grid. If you go diagonal, it's a different thing. Okay. You get what I mean, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Example, this is 1 unit, this is 1 unit. But here is not 1 unit anymore. So you don't count like this. Unless it is an isometric grids. Like this, then will be the same. Okay? But this is a square grid. Again, let me just remind you with this. This is a square grid. So you can't do like diagonal, like 1, 2, 3, 4, then you do like this 1 unit. No, it's different from here and here. Okay? So let's look at here. So this is my parallelogram. So I can do like this. I cut into half. Then you can see this is a triangle. At the bottom is also another triangle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 unit. So I have 2 triangle. They're exactly the same. So I have 2 triangle. Triangle again, half times base and height. Times base times height. So I know it's 24. Okay. Now how about this square? Square is this, right? Again, you can't just like, oh, 1 unit, 2 unit, 1 unit, 2 unit. No, you cannot do that. Okay. So what we can do is we can actually cut and divide into different parts, then you calculate together. So as you can see here is a triangle, like 1, 2, 2 unit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 unit. And you notice that this triangle and this triangle is the same. So let me just do this. 2 times half, the same thing I'm doing here, times base 5 times 2. And then I get 10. These two add together is 10. But of course, we don't forget this parallelogram. And to find parallelogram is very simple. Base times height, same thing, like a square. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as we know. So 2 times 5. So it's 10. So the total area for this square is 10 plus 10. 20. I have 24, I have 20. Now let's look for this trapezium. Trapezium, because it's 90 degrees, so we can just cut like this. Okay. Then we just cut like this. And actually, you will notice that these 3 triangle, is it the same? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Yes, it's exactly the same, these 3. Okay. It's equal, it's equal. So we can just do like this. 1, 2, I have 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 4. So I have 3 triangle, they are the same. So I times 3. Half, my base is 4, my height is 2. So I just simplify. 3 times 4, 12. So now I get the area is 24, 20, and 12. And what I need to do is to put together and simplify. So it's 24 to 20 to 12. And what I can do is to divide by 4 for each. 4, 4, 4. So 6 times 4, 24. 6, 4, 5 times 4, 20. 3 times 4, 12. So the answer here will be 6, 5, and 3. And that's all. And of course, after you have done with all this calculation, please make sure you remove all these things. Don't leave it for the person to mark to see all these things, because the drawing is very important. Don't spoil the drawing. Okay, spend some time going to remove it. Okay, perfect. Let's move on to our next question. Okay, so this is the whole picture for the question. So let's move on to our next question, which is from SGS paper 2 question 10. Okay, so let's look at this question. So this question says that a car and a bike set off from town B in opposite direction. So you know that there's car, there's a bike, and they set off from town B in opposite direction at 9:30. So basically you can imagine that this is town B, one go this side, one go this side. Example, this is car lah, and this is bike. And they set off at 9:30. And here says that the car traveled towards town A at a constant speed of 80 km per hour. So I know that this is A, and car is traveling at 80 km per hour. While the bike, I have the bike travel towards town C at a constant speed of 62 km per hour. So if this bike goes towards C at 62 km per hour. When the car reached town A at 12:30, reach here, okay, means reach here already. The bike was still 28 km away from town C. So bike was about here and it's 28 km. And now A, how far did the car travel? How far basically means what? The distance. Okay. Now let's look at this. The first most important thing to draw is this triangle. Okay. Speed, distance, and time. So in order to look for the distance the car travel, I must have what? Speed and time. So what is my speed? My speed is given here, 80 km per hour. But what is the time? Again here, 9:30 to 12:30. So the first thing is look for the time. The time between, or the duration between, I should say duration, would be what? Duration from 9:30 to 12:30 is, you just minus, you should get actually is 3 hours. 3 hours, distance 80 km. So again, to look for distance, I need to times. So my distance is speed 80 times time 3 hours. So the answer is 240. So 240 km. Okay, let's move on to the next part. What was the distance between town A and town C? Means that now you're looking from here up to here. So now here I actually know it's 240 km already. From here to here, I know it's 28. Now, what I need to look for is here to here. This part. This part is the missing part. But you know that bike is actually here, right? When it's 12:30. So the same thing, in 3 hours time, how far did the bike travel? Okay. So again, our triangle here, speed, distance, time. To look for the distance is what? Speed, 62, times my time, 3. So 62 times 3, 186 km. which means that in 3 hours, bike have traveled 186 km. And now we are looking for the distance. So 240 plus 186 plus our last one, which is 28 km, which the answer is 454 km. Okay, 454 km. So 454 km. And this is a 2-mark question. Done, simple. Okay, let's move on to our next question, and which is our last question for this video. Okay, paper 2, question 14 from Nanyang School. So in class T, so let's look at this question. In class T, when only one girl stands up, the rest of the children are sitting down. The number of boys sitting down was half the number of girls sitting down. Okay, very interesting question. When one boy stands up, the rest of the children are sitting down. The ratio of the number of girls sitting down to the number of boys sitting down is 9:4. Wow, the first thing you look at it, you probably will feel like, wow, I'm not gonna do this question. But something very important. Now, you have actually 2 scenarios here. First scenario, first one, and this one will be the second scenario. And stand up, the rest sit down. Boys stand up, the rest sit down. Now, if you're actually very good with this catching the tips, you should know that this is a concept that we've been doing all the time. It's called unchanged total. Why? In scenario number 1, scenario number 2, the total number of students is actually the same. No matter you stand up or sit down, it's same. So let's try to write down the ratio table. So let me draw the scenario number 1. One girl stands up. This is scenario number 1. Boys sitting down, 2 girls sitting down, and the total. Okay, total sitting down. Right, boys, 1, 2 girls. So 1 to 2. So the total ratio is 3. When one boy stands up, the ratio is girl 9, boys 4. Don't put wrongly, okay? Girls 9, boys 4. 9 plus 4, 13. And again, this is what? This is a concept called unchanged total. The total people sitting down is still the same because only one girl, one boy, and yeah, same. So 3 and 13 are supposed to be the same, but they're not the same. So we need to look for LCM. So 3 we times 13. If we times 13 here, we times 13 here, we times 13 here. And here we times 3, times 3, and times 3. Again, we are making the total the same because in both of these scenarios, the total are same. So the new ratio now will be 39, 26, be 13, here be 12, here be 27, here be 39. Now, you need to understand that this is our ratio. Okay, it means that it might be exact number of students here. It might not be, okay? But interestingly, you can see that here, 13, I have 13 here, now become 12. Why? Why first scenario I have more boys, but second scenario I have less? Why I have one less? Because the boy stands up here. That's why sit down have less. Why here girls have 26, boys here have 27? Why one less up here? Because the girl stands up. And you actually know what? Means that the new ratio that we're expecting here is actually the exact number of students describing here. It's not the ratio, it's the exact number of students. So, part A. What is the total number of children in class 60? Teacher, 39. That's all. No, 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 no. 39 is the total number of person sitting down. Don't forget, example, in the first scenario, 39, right? I have one girl standing up. So plus 1. So the answer is what? 40. The same thing, if you go for second scenario, 39, still one boy standing up. So 39 plus 1, 40. Okay. Simple, nice. This is unchanged, total. This is unchanged, total. Let's move on to our question number B. Okay. Question number B. After an equal number of boys and girls left for competition, equal number of girls and boys left for competition, the ratio of number of girls to boys in the class became 9:2. Find the total number of children who left the classroom for competition. Now, first, if you see the word equal number of girls and boys left, oh, you should know this concept is called, this is called unchanged difference. Why? Because again, I have 4 here, I have 2 here. What's the difference? 1 is 4, 1 is 2. Difference is 2. 4 minus 2 is 2, right? But if I have equal number of people going, example, 1 students go, 1 students go. So what's the difference here? It's still 2. That's why it's equal or unchanged difference. Example, 4, 2, right? If I add 1, 1, equal number adding, equal number leaving, it's still 2. Okay? So let's go back to our previous table here. Let's find what's the number of boys and girls we have here in the class. So boy, girl. Boy, I have 13. Girls, I have 26. No, I have one girl standing up, right? So it's 13 and 27. So here's 13 and 27. So I know I have 13 boys and 27 girls. And since I know it's unchanged difference, so let's try to find the difference. 27 minus 13 is 14. Okay. Now, I don't know how many boys and girls left. Let me just minus unit. I don't know how many. And the ratio of girls to boys is 9:2. So girl 9, boys 2. And again, let's try to find the difference as well. The difference is what? 9 minus 2 is 7. And I know, again, what concept is this? Unchanged difference. So this 4 and this 7 supposed to be the same. So we should make it the same. So I 7 I times 2 times 2 times 2. Why I times 2? Because times 2 it will be 14. It will be exactly the same. So 9 times 2, 18. 2 times 2, 4. And you can see this. 13 become 4. Again, this is the exact number of students, number of boys or number of girls. So what we are looking here now, 13 to become 4 is 9. And you notice that 27 become 18 is also 9. Because it should be equal, right? Equal number of boys or equal number of girls left. Now the question asking, the total number of children who left. Of course, boys have 9, right? Girls also have 9, right? So 9 plus 9, 18. So that is the answer. 40 and 18. So 18 is the answer for B. So that's why we're done for this question. So you notice that all these questions are not that hard, but it's something that we actually practiced before in class or something that we have seen before. But the problem here is that we always tend to forget what we have learned. So please continue to do revision during this time, and we'll move on to our last minute revision for set number B in the next video. Thank you so much. So all the best. Thank you. See you. Bye bye.